That's all right. We'll do it even better. Now, all right, now, come on in, sit on down. How much we gonna get for him? 25 to the 35, 35 to the 40, 40, 40, $45 this morning on all these MTG stocks. Gonna do some talks. Gonna do some stocks, and let's see if anybody's out there chatting here this morning on the channel. Let's make sure everything's working. Looks like we're good. Chat is up. Hey, all right now, folks. Sit on down, walk them in. What are we going to get for them? It's MTG Morning Stocks with Brody, 35 to the 40, 40, 45, 40, 45 to the 50, 50 to the 55. Hasbro stock sitting at a $62.16. Boys, boys, boys. Mr. DJ Longhair, Mythic Hunter. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me here this morning. I had to restart the stream. Brody had a complete I was 15 minutes into the stream before Brody realized Murray Cooper made it. Murray's in the house. How you doing, Murray? One of the Freetreons. Holy, I get to yes, Murray's here. It's Friday. It's time to slide down that dinosaur's tail. Yabba dabba do time, November 25th. And if you don't want to wake anybody up, but it's November 25th, 2022, folks. I got folks in the house. Everybody's here. Alan Cahoon, morning, howdy, Friday. I was in the stream. I was 15 minutes, and thank goodness for Mrs. Alfonso. She says you're not live. So let's check out this Hasbro stock. Like this thing's heading down. It's heading down and to the right. It's heading down. It's drifting. It's been down, you know, downward trend for the last couple of weeks, and like, but like today on the day, stop in, heading to work in 10 minutes. Perfect. Catch you on your way to work, give you what you need to know. Hasbro stock, $62.16. Has been bumped up just a little bit. We are waiting for this sucker to trend down and to the right, sub $50 to see do the legacy list, or we're going to do the all list for you folks this morning. We got two lists, two choices. Can you give me this? The legacy list got Jazam de Jin on it. The Abyss Workshop, Shivan Dragon, and the All list has got Mox Ruby. This one looks really interesting. Plateau, Jazam, Warp Artifact, and Granite Gargoyle, Winter Orb and Fork. Morning on Friday, November 25th, 2022. We're going to run down this list for you folks today. Let's have a little sip of coffee. Let's do the All list. I really want to do the All list. Richie's in the woods and it's raining on him. Man, are you whitetail deer hunting out this morning? Shh, keep it down. Richie's hunting wabbit. In one of them, okay? When comments coming in, I can see you guys in the chat. Thanks for lighting up the chat. It will be what really either spikes or drops the stock. Yes, Q4 earnings. We are sitting back. If you want a nice place to sit back that's comfortable to watch these charts, you've come to the right place. Thank you, folks, for joining me. You can check these charts here. You can check them yourself, but if you don't have time, let me do that for you. I'm checking them anyway, and we can have a little. I did take a little peek. I want to say the Mox Ruby from Beta here. It's like 31% uptick. Come on, there's got to be some sort of mistake. Well, maybe, but like this is so. This is one thing I want to make out to you folks for tuning in here when you're looking at these charts. Like this seems like higher than what you would expected, but this software and this algorithmic price tracking software that these folks use, it sort of takes a mean price and like so There's been a couple of more of these Mox Rubies come onto the market in near mint condition as these people, and like on TCG Player nonetheless. Like who's buying cards off TCG Player as near mint for like overinflated prices? It like TCG Player, it's a place where sellers connect with buyers. Is subjective. Let's just put it that way. Subjective to whatever the seller calls their card. Okay, you would expect from maybe like a vendor shop you would have some consistency, and I really don't know because I haven't bought a lot of TCG Player, but looking at it at face value, I think that's what it is. So somebody's priced a couple. It's like somebody put one up yesterday for $25,951. Give me 25,951, and then the next guy come along put one in for 24,999.99. So it's sort of a seller's market over there. And if it's like if you've got one and he's got one and they're 25 grand, well, I got one for 25.5, 25.5. So it's the third guy throws one in there at near mint pricing because he thinks his near mint is near mint. And if somebody won, so that's what happens over here when we look at the chart. Now the new price. The new price is $25,000, up 31 points. But is it really? Is it really? Yes, this card's played. Yes, it's a hell of a house. It's a boat. It's a boat and an anchor all together. And it's played in vintage. Top decks using it. Blue Tinker, Paradoxical, all the prison shops, Jeskai Control, Blue Tempo, all the usual place that has two, and they're $7,799 for a very good or excellent condition. That's 10, which is half of what like they're selling over there at the other place. So this is another problem with buying online. You can't see the cards right in front of you, and you really do, especially with something like this. You want to see the cards. So don't have a panic attack saying that everything's going through the roof because we see a 31% bump up in price on Zerubi this morning. It's fine, 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 but red mana is at a premium. We love our red mana. Cash is king again. You bet it is, Alan. Cash is king. Put your shekels away. Rub your pennies together. Check the coffee can. Where I'm at, one of the biggest card stores had closed their cash order buy list system. Let's see if they're still up or if it's still down. We wanted a little bit of new buyout option. Start here. Is their buy list back up? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Large selection, weekly hot list. So this is where we were seeing that notice just a couple of weeks ago. And that's a scary prospect when stores are closing the cash for the buy list. It's a scary prospect because what it really means is cash is hard to come by, like what Alan's saying. I wish I could stay, but I'm on my way. Hope to stay longer next time. All safe adventures to you, Murray. Travel safe, be well. Appreciate you for hitting the live stream up with all the folks. Richie Dubs, I love it when people ask me if I caught any deer every time. We love you for joining the channel. Thanks a bunch, Mr. DJ Longhair. I was over at the round table last night at DJ's house. It was awesome. It was a good time. I was on there for an hour. I was talking about anger collections on the previous live stream that never happened. But he was on the live stream over at Mr. DJ's last night. This guy's got some epic giveaways, and I'm gonna put a link in the description below to any of you folks that are interested in checking out some of the War of the Spark giveaways that are happening over there. So this is about as good as MTG news that you can get. All right, this fella's doing some epic giveaways. Hit him up in the. Here's the tip of the day on a Friday if you're gonna head over there. You gotta like a video and put War of the Spark in the comments section on as many of the videos as you can. That gets you in a draw or gets you eligible for the win over at the Anger Collections channel. So that's about as good a news as you can hope for here. when it comes to finding money. Like really, Magic Talks, Magic Stocks with Brody. Sorry I missed you last night. I was going to sleep as you came live. That's all good, man. It's all good. Make it if you can. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so I hope you got your fill. It's time for a Friday. Hope you have a little sip of coffee this morning. Ellen says, I recall one of the tips for supporting your LGS buying those pre-release packs that are left over, as the LGS are locked into buying X amount. Black Friday has some deals on them. Interesting. It was one of the hard things when we had a game store and they would only get so many from Wizards. They'd be like, "We're getting, where everybody was stoked. It's like, yay, we got a game store," and then they're your new game store, so they have to buy like these kits, and they only get like an allocation that's small until they get some history, right? So you get like 8 pre-release kits, and there's never enough for anybody. And then the next time they go, okay, well everybody wants to play it, and then like the set sucks, so they pony up and buy a bunch of the pre-release kits, and then they don't sell, right? It's terrible. Red Mana on the movers and the shakers list here this morning. Plateau, the card with the alternate art. This card is moving up in price. What do we say? 886%. Has this card really done? Its black border. It's got the different art on it, different than any of the other plateaus. It's hasn't really seen a leg up in price since 2021, and now it is again back to that price spike level. Maybe there was some speculation on this card, but like I would just sit back and watch and wait for some of these prices to go lower. If there's stores like the one I was looking at, if they're closing the buy list, like here's the thing. If they're closing the buy list, uh then that's gonna have a big effect. Like they do have to pay their rent, right? So then they have to start this dual land here, this beta dual land. Like it's an alternate art. You don't need the beta dual lands to build Legacy or Commander. But where are we playing it? Legacy, Selesnya Depths. What's big in red right now in Legacy? Selesnya Depths. So that's where the red is popular. And Teamer Cascade. I want to check this out. There's a Cascade deck. Garen Jotter told me Amazon. Plenty for like 20 to 30 bucks on Amazonia. Hmm. My LGS has buy two get one free most all products. Wow. Forge and Fire Gaming has some deals for commander decks. Amazon, I need to get some commander decks before this Amazon dump happening, right? Jotter. Robert O'Brien, the man from the K-Town. Putting it down in the comments section. How you doing? I hope you're having a smooth Friday. This morning we're going to do a little bit of magic stocks and a couple of magic talks. We're looking at the red sources on the movers and shakers list. We got Ruby all the way up at the top, and we got the plateau, the red sources, because we need red in Cascade for Legacy. This one went fifth place, 5-2 in a recent Legacy challenge that happened November the 13th this year. Brazen Borrower, Elvish Spirit. So what are we doing in Legacy that we don't get to do in Modern? How come it's so much better? Brazen Borrower, poor monkey who just like wants to make mana and be a 2-2. Why can't he do that? He gets himself banned everywhere he goes. Minsk and Boo, of course, right? The crashing footfalls, violent outbursts, force of negation, fire and ice. Of course, we got the real dual lands over here, not like the pseudo lands. One plateau, a savanna, tarn, taiga, trop, Ikal Island, Tundra, and Volcanic Island. So this legacy build, like 4 color Cascade, it's like well, like this is like the modern Cascade on steroids. It's got all the dual lands. It's got Simian Spirit Guide for fast mana. The usual suspects with violent outburst and everybody else. So the deck's really popular. Hence, like I was saying, like if you go back, look back just like at the beginning of the Magic Talks and Magic Stocks with Brody. I was talking about the price and the order of the Moxen, right? People are like, well, it's always Sapphire, then the Jet, then the Ruby, then it's Jet and Ruby will sort of battle for that second place depending on what decks are popular in the format. The more red decks are popular, the higher up we're going to see the Ruby move and these red sources. And the more black decks are popular, like the Doomsday deck and a few others that are super popular in black, then we're going to see the $16. Who's buying this stock? Is it you? Are you buying this stock because it's been going down? No. Let's wait and watch till it trends just a little bit lower. Quarter four earnings, Alan's saying, was where we want to just like park ourselves and watch things kind of fall. And maybe take some time to maybe get a couple deals on these things. Chaos Orb from Beta Chaos Orb. Black bordered orb, 98% doubled in price. Like some huge moves here on a Friday, like some major moves. This card get played, go to an old school event, like Eternal Weekend that's coming up in December. You're going to see this card. People flip it. It can be interacted in, and it's a definitely a removal piece that can be played in any deck because it's colorless. Can have a little sip of coffee here. Getting a little excited this morning. I'm going to be in here just a little bit past the hour for you folks on a Friday. It's Yabba Dabba 2 time. We are checking out the prices on the movers and shakers list today. 2 mana for a Chaos Orb. Like, you can see why this thing's good. Benson's in the house. Benson. Been trying to been trying to catch you, brother, on the stream. Love having you here. We're gonna get some good tech in the chat today. I know we are. Thanks for joining us. Like this 2 mana artifact, this Chaos Orb, it's really cheap to cast. And one, you flip it onto the battlefield from a height of at least a foot. If it turns around 100% completely, you get to destroy any non-token permanents it touches, and then you destroy the Chaos Orb. But it's got a bit of a ruling on it. It has to like you have to name the target before you flip it, and there's a bit of a strategy to doing it. People have their different techniques. You could look that up. Do a little card flip, get it to touch the card, and then boom, it's out of here. 2 mana, destroy target thing. It's awesome. Can we talk about modern card prices? Robert O'Brien, special request. Let's do it. Let's go to the modern list. All right, let's do it for Robert. Robert wants to take a look at modern. Brody never looks at the modern list, but because of you, Robert O'Brien, tuning in on the channel, let's hit this list. Let's see what's going on here. Mycosynth Golem. We got a Golem, Akam Dagson, Darksteel Forge, Gemstone. We're going to hit this list. Modern's a place where Brody goes to buy list cards to vendors because like I just like it's modern is a jungle. I'm telling you. Modern is like for me, modern financially. Modern is like a place with snakes and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Like there are cards that get really pricey in modern and then they get reprinted. So, you gotta kind of know what you're doing with modern cards if you're buying them. We got Wound Reflection, Akroma's Memorial in here from Shadowmoor. What are these Shadowmoor cards doing in this deck list? Like, that's interesting to see. So, I do like the cards from Shadowmoor. And, like, I'll just tell you, Shadowmoor foils, maybe even better. Richie, another Amazon sealed dump for Black Friday and Cyber Monday because it's happening now. CEDH decks are expensive. When are they going to make a CEDH precon? The stream seems to be lagging. Uh-oh. A little bit of lag in the stream. I don't know what to do about that. Sorry, Robert. Don't know what to tell you, buddy. Let's turn that off. Okay, let's hit this. Let's hit this list for Robert. It's not lagging here. All right, well, let's keep going. I want to see this Mycosynth Golem. This guy is a mover. It's on the top list here. An affinity for artifacts card, $27. It's up a couple of points. Where are we playing this card? The 4/5 for 11 mana with affinity on it. Costs one less for each artifact you control. Artifact spells you control have affinity. So it gives everything affinity. Is affinity coming back, Robert? let us know. Affinity. Do you play this Mycosynth Golem from Fifth Dawn? It's probably got a foil version. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is where the money is. Here we go. The foil version. Like, why are we looking at that? Yeah. All right. So the foil version of this Mycosynth Lattice is our Golem is $70. Where are we playing this? The non-foil is a little cheaper, sitting at 23, but it's taking a bump up. So like this, let's look at the tabletop prices because that's what really matters. I really don't have a preference of what we talk for Magic stocks. As long as you folks are happy and you're here to join, I will talk about pricing on just about anything you guys want to. So just so you know. This thing's like at an all-time high. You know, get this sucker to the vendor shop, maybe. That's what Brody was saying. This is where I'd be digging through the collection and being like, I gotta trade these in. Give me $70 on my foil Mycosynth Golem. Urza is playing it. Okay, Liberator Urza's Battle Thopter. Well, let's check this out. Pretty cool looking card. It's part of the lore in the Brothers War. 3 mana, 1/2 artifact with flash and flying. You may cast colorless artifact spells as though they had flash. Wow. So now all your Moxen have flash, your Affinity Boys have flash, your Mycosynth Golem has flash. You can flash your opponent. No, don't do that. You'll probably get kicked out. But whenever you cast a spell, and then if the amount of mana spent to cast the spell is greater than Liberator, Urza Battlethopter power, put a 1/1 counter on it. So this triggers it. Your Eldrazi too. Colorless spells and artifact spells as they have. That's Alan saying that the Urza Battlethopter is seriously a sleeper card. Your Eldrazi, it now has flash, right? Okay, sleeper card. What's this card worth? $2. $2. Maybe get yourself a foil copy of this sucker, right? Okay, so this thing's pushing prices. Foil Battlethopter, all different and find itself into Legacy, like a straight to Legacy. Is this the 3 mana Lurrus of the format? It could very well be. All right. Thanks for bringing that to us this week, Friday. Robert O'Brien. See, this is why, Robert O'Brien, you have to join us here on the channel for Morning Magic Stock. You really do. We miss you, and we're happy to have you here. So that Urza deck, I mean, what else is there to say, right? But this Liberator deck, that's a deck that's going to see a little more action. And it's pushing the price of this Mycosynth and the Mycosynth Golem and this affinity effect. Urza, Prince of Krug. Let's take another look at this one. Obviously, yeah, another Urza deck. So look at the Urza, Prince of Krug. Another bet it does. Wow, it's really early here. I know it's early. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Think of how time it is on the East Coast. They're having lunch already, right? Okay, let's keep moving. We got like the Mycosynth Golem, top of the modern pile. Akram Dagson. I love that this is a card from Cold Snap. Let's check it out. All right. Jotter is going to be snoozing. Tell Jotter I said, hey, take care of my best buddy. Okay, miss him like crazy. Uh, I really do. Akram from Cold Snap. $15. He's taking a tick up. Tap. Look at this picture of Akram. That card and put it into play, then shuffle. Artifice sundered the world. It shall not again wreak such sorrow. So you tap, sack an artifact creature, and then you search for a non-creature artifact put into the battlefield. So you can get like your win piece, your Mycosynth Lattice, your game piece. Look at this thing. Akram. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at this card. It hit $40 in 2019. Okay? This thing's a house. Like I mean, here's the thing, modern speculation and everything else. This is how modern is such a tough place. Like Brody would be looking at this card going, "Yes, I'm going to buy this card. I'm going to buy like 12 copies." And then it would get a reprint or something like that, right? That's like the tough part about modern. But like, hey, this where are we playing this? In the Mishra Eminent One deck. In the Eminish, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra Warform, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature in addition to its other types. It gains haste until end of turn, sacrifice at the beginning of the next turn. End step. Oh, here's like this Brothers War is driving like a whole bunch of new builds and a whole bunch of formats and a whole bunch of price movement on the modern list. I buy modern cards to play. Sports cards I buy as investables. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's tough, right? I buy pretty much all my cards to play except when I'm not, but it is really hard when you buy cards to play. Like this card, I'll show you a card, Gemstone Caverns, and it's on the list. Here's a card Brody bought. I bought this card a couple of times. The first time because I wanted to play it, because I really like this card. Because Magic is a silly game at times. It is. It really is. And it comes down to dice rolling, and it comes down to card shuffling, and it comes down to card cutting and card drawing, and there's a whole bunch of luck involved. So when there's a card that's based around like the luck mechanic, then that's kind of neat because like you ever sat down to play a game of Magic and you just couldn't win. It almost felt like the game's rigged and you're playing arena. It's like mulligan, mulligan, mulligan. Yeah, it's a game of luck. There's luck involved. It happens. So this Gemstone Cavern, if you're feeling like building a luck deck where luck matters to see if you're lucky, or you're planning on getting lucky, because it's Friday and you've got your gemstone caverns. This card handed me some grass, at least on a couple of occasions. I bought it high. See, look at it move, right? Brody buys it, Brody buys it, it goes down. Brody buys it, it goes down. Brody buys it, it goes down. So this is a tough card, but it's really neat. $100 and it's worth a wedding ring. Holy smokes. If it's in your opening hand and you're not the starting player, like this was, I played this in a time warp deck where you're like, I'm counting on losing the dice roll. I'm gonna have no luck whatsoever, right? So like I played this in game decks that you really go on to go second, and you're planning on, or like with Serum Powder, I've played this. It's just find out where people are playing it. If it's in your opening hand, you're not the starting player, you get to reveal it and be like, but wait, I have pre-game effects. My favorite part in Magic, right? You sit down to play and people are like, all right, I won the dice roll. I'm going to go first. And you're like, hello, I've got some pre-game effects. And then the fun part about this card is the next game, like the next match in the set, you betcha they're going to stop and ask if you have pre-game effects. And then you can say, no, no, I don't. But thank you for asking. I'll allow it. Exile a card out of your hand. Who cares? So what? You're gonna pitch like maybe another Gemstone Caverns because it's legendary and you can only have one. Tap at a colorless. If it has a luck counter, you get one of any color. It can steal the play on your opponent. I love it. It's a great card. It's really fun. Yeah, look at this. Oh, it's good. It could see a reprint at any given moment. Hardened Scales. Why wouldn't it play this card? You only need like a Simic, one blue and one green. Fender Shops, yeah, Hardened Scales is playing this. That was a deck. Hey, remember that card? Boy, it's funny it's not Affinity, it's Hardened Scales, right? It's all right. It's not, it's not Shops, it's Hardened Scales. Hardened Scales is an interesting card when it's reprinted again. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Print the living daylights out of the hardened scales. It was a $20 card. Hardened scales, if one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1 get put on it instead. I like hardened scales. I like Winding Constrictor. I like the hanger backers, the ballisters. Zaba, the Glimmer Wasp. Interesting card. That's another card. Seems like some cards have unnatural spikes just before they get reprinted. It is weird, right? It's almost like people know things. And I think people do. Like, did you ever have let's go back a couple of, maybe 2 years ago before some of these controversial cards like for art were sort of deemed unsellable or unplayable. Like there was a group of people who just seemingly were able to get their hands on and buy a lot of these cards before some of these announcements became official. Leaks from Wizards employees, perhaps. There is like insider buying on cards. There's like You gotta believe it. It can't not happen. If you think these markets just like go along and there aren't people at Wizards feeding information to people like what to buy before a set releases or before a card gets banned or before like a card gets removed from social discussion because it's controversial, like this deck went 7-0. You got to be kidding yourself. All right, back, back two more. Four score. It's it's November 25th. It's Friday. It's Yabba Dabba Do time. Fred Flintstone is about to slide down that dinosaur's tail. We got one more day to go before the weekend, and we get to hit these gemstone. What? Magic Talks and Magic Stocks. I used a variation of Cascade Rhinos with Blood Moon, one main gemstone and two sideboard. Robert O'Brien joining us with a little bit of special request. Thank you for the request today. You know, I would have never had taken a trip down the modern list, but I'm glad I did. It's a little bit of fun here, and the chatter is lighting up. The tech is here. Shadowmoor. Here's a set that Brody likes. Shadowmoor foils. I'm telling you, there are some good cards in Shadowmoor, including like the original Savor the Moment. That's like a great card to buy. But I digress because Brody likes to play turns. Wound reflection. At the beginning of each player's end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. What? At the end of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. 6 mana for this enchantment. Damage causes loss of life. The mission of the Night Earth, Illulia's cult of murderous cinders, is to intensify every pain suffered in Shadowmoor. I like the art. Ron Spencer. Like, there's a guy who does amazing artwork. Like, hello. Check out the art on this. I'm just gonna top up. I'm gonna warm ski here. Gonna warm my bottom up here. Just the bottom of my cup. Gonna warm it up. Let's have a look here. Where are we playing this? Sholdred. Sholdred is pushing. Whoa. Okay, so that's just gonna make it do it twice, right? They're gonna lose life and then do it again. If draw and then like draw again, lose some life, and then again. Guess what? And at the beginning of your end step on each turn, you're gonna do it again. So every time you trigger Sholdred, you're gonna get like another proc on the end step for as much life as she made them lose already. This wound reflection just like it's like steroids for shoulder red. It's really, really busted. Holy smokes. Are we just like cheating this into play? Are we casting it for 6 mana? Rankle the prankster. Oh, look at this. A rat shaman. Meh. How are we casting it? I don't know. Maybe Robert O'Brien knows. How are we casting this thing off 6 mana? Are we flipping it into play? Caged Sun, Coveted Jewels in the deck? Oh, that's yeah, okay. It's Commander. We're probably ramping it out. Ramp it hard, boys. Get that wound reflection onto the battlefield. Now we skip the Darksteel Forge, and we shouldn't. It's 8% up. It's a 9 mana artifact, and it's a house of a card. Let's check it out. I don't know, Commander. It's okay. I have two Commander decks. I'm new to Commander. I'm only been into it for like a couple, 3 years. Uh, Special thanks to Murray Cooper for firing the Commander events when they happen. It's where Brody goes to have a little Commander fun. It's awesome. It's all right. The Dark Steel Forge. I'm just gonna make myself up another coffee. Don't worry about what I'm doing here, folks. It's fine. It's fine. It's a little bit past the hour. Let's just check and see how we're making out. Artifacts you control have indestructible. Effects that say destroy don't destroy them. Artifact creatures with indestructible can't be destroyed by damage. So this is like a card that makes all your artifacts out of dark steel. Where are we playing this? Where are we playing this? Yeah, I know, like, but don't you feel like modern gets affected a little? Why is that card so expensive? It's played in modern. It is good, and then it's like it's also played in commander, so they're even more expensive. So where are we playing this Darksteel Forge? It's commander. Okay, let's keep going. Let's find some modern stuff here for rubber. Chroma's Memorial, $16.99. Is this Commander? All right. Are we sure this isn't a Commander list or maybe, maybe. Urza, Grizzlebrand. Yeah, here we are here. Urza High Lord, Grizzle B. This guy's played in modern, isn't he? Yeah. No. Yes. Yes. Okay. Neil Brand. That's right. He's the Neil Brand target. Grizzlebrand seeing another tick up in price. Like it's only a matter of time until we get another Grizzlebrand reprint. Grizzlebrand was a few more bucks and emerged from the broken Hell Vault, but her freedom came at a price. Him, Thalia, Knight Cathar. So this is like the original Reanimator target, right? It could be definitely in Legacy, but also in Modern. So in Modern Reanimator, this guy is a big boy and he's good. He's like the and it was worth a lot more. I believe it wasn't Grizzlebrand like 40 bucks before they like reprinted him into like, yeah, look, he was like 30 something bucks. And then it's like reprint the Grizzlebrand a million times. All right. Reanimator, let's go modern for my man, Robert. Goryo through the breach. So red Reanimator. Morning Prime, how you doing, buddy? Insider trading definitely happening within Modern Magic the Gathering. Before Pioneer was announced, a ton of cards ticked up in price, right? So me and T Freezy were talking about this format that we wanted to play, right? Pioneer, and like, so we're building it, and it's like brand, and then like Neo brand. This is a card. It's a broken card, right? It's got the Neo form in it. So like you're running this card. Neoform, a blue and a green, right? This is a modern version of the Reanimator. So how do we get the Grizzle brand into play, right? In a modern deck. This is how. We got Neoform. As additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. All right, so what creature are we going to be sacrificing? And how are we getting it onto the battlefield? Well, let's take a look here. The creature we're going to be sacrificing is this Allosaurus Rider. All right, this 7 mana guy. Okay, it's like 7 mana. Brody, you're insane. Like, how are we going to get the Allosaurus Rider into play in the first place? Um, they cheated into play. So, we're going. Let's see here. Where's the line of play here? Summoner's Pack, nope. Abundant Harvest, choose a land. Serum Visions, Neoform. Nourishing Shoal, exile a green card with converted mana cost X from your hand rather than paying this slice mana cost. You gain X. Okay, you can Shoal, Eldritch Evolution, as you can cast Eldritch Evolution, sack a creature, search for a creature, mana cost X or less. Symbiosis. Where's the card that where are we here? I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Sack the creature. We gotta get the Allosaurus Rider into play. What am I missing here, folks? I don't play this deck. I've played against it, but and it's pretty easy. It's pretty fragile. If you can disrupt this in any way, it definitely um, it's definitely a glass cannon if you can disrupt this combo. Botanical Sanctum, Breeding Pool, Aetherflux, Reservoir, Waterlogged Grove. What am I missing here? Mox Amber, Neoform. Summoner's Pact. The point is, we're not putting Grizzlebrand into play. Honestly, we're cheating it into play. Okay, with the Neoform. Neoform sack the Allosaurus Rider. Allosaurus Rider, 7 mana. Then we get to go get Grizzlebrand and put it into play. And we're only like card like flash, like we just flash it into play and then sacrifice it. That's sort of what I believe. The maybe this version of the deck doesn't do that, but that's the idea. You flash in the Allosaurus Rider and then you sack it and then to the Neoform, because yeah, and we go get Grizzlebrand. The Demon card from Avison Restored. We're rolling down the movers and shakers list here this morning. It's Friday. It's getting closer and closer to the weekend. It's getting really close. Akroma's Memorial. We did Room to Reflection. Akroma's Memorial. Why not? Let's look at it. It's on the list. It's up 5%. I know it's not. This is the modern list, but there's some commander cards on here. We're going to check them out. Creatures you control have flying, first strike,